Pretty quiet in here. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's a beautiful morning outside. This is an exciting day today. My name is George Chaika. I'm the Vice President of Business for the BC Lions Football Club. And on behalf of the BC Lions football team, BC Place Stadium, I'd like to welcome everyone here today for this important announcement. We have some special guests I'd like to acknowledge, starting with Madam Premier. I know she's a fan of the BC Lions, the Honorable Christy Clark. Welcome. We also have a fellow who looks like he would have been a pretty good football player in his day. He's the Honorable Rich Coleman, Minister of Energy, Mines, Natural Gas, and the MLA for Fort Langley, Aldergrove. Rich. I'd like to welcome our MLAs, Richard T. Lee from Burnaby North, John Horn from Coquitlam, Burke County. Last but not least, a gentleman who I call our owner, but he'll tell you he's the caretaker of this franchise, our very own Senator David Braley. David. As many of you know, the BC Lions are entering their 60th season in 2013. And during those past 60 years, we've had a number of great players who've built the foundation of this club on the football field. And we're pleased, very pleased, to have a number of those players here today. First player I'd like to introduce is a native of Hamilton, Ontario. He went by the name of Dirty 30, and it wasn't because his jersey wasn't very clean. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the all-time greats for the BC Lions, Jim Young. Sixth player is a native of Duncan, British Columbia on Vancouver Island. He was the heart and soul of the BC Lions offense for a number of years. He captained the offensive line. He was captain of our 1985 Grey Cup Championship team. Please welcome number 52, Al Wilson. Sixth player is a native of Kingston, Ontario, one of the all-time greats for the BC Lions. He's actually the first football player in the 100-year history of the Canadian Football League who was the outstanding Canadian and outstanding defensive player in the same year. Please welcome number 97, Brent Johnson. Also have an alumni here who's the second longest serving member of the BC Lions football team. He now leads our community relations, as our director of community relations, and I always get a kick out of telling everyone that he actually started his first year with the BC Lions as a receiver. Please help me welcome number 60, Jamie Terrace. And we also have the longest serving member of the BC Lions football team. He is a native of Burnaby, British Columbia. He's actually the all-time leading scorer in the Canadian Football League, whether you're north or south of the 49th parallel. But don't let that gray hair fool you. His name is Big Lou, number 5, Lou Pistagio. Lions alumni have represented this club greatly over the last 60 years, and they've all made us proud of this franchise, but the future's now. And I'm pleased to introduce some members of our current BC Lions football team who are here today. We've got running back Rory Lambala, safety J.R. Rose, linebacker Adam Bighill, offensive lineman Dean Valley and Jason Hamilton Reeves. Receiver Sean Gore. And our quarterback, number 14, Travis Lule. Now they're joined here today and led by our head coach, Mike Benavides, and our Vice President of Football Operations and General Manager, Wally Wong. Ladies and gentlemen, they are all members of our 2011 Grey Cup Championship football team, and I can tell you that they are working very hard to be the 2013 Grey Cup champions of the Canadian Football League. Now, we're past 60 years, our franchise has hosted 8 Grey Cups, with each one having more meaning and more importance to this province of British Columbia, and that's why we're here today. It's now my pleasure to introduce the Chief Operating Officer of the Canadian Football League. Please help me welcome Michael Copeland.
Thanks, George. Madam Premier, distinguished guests, including you guys over there, Senator Braley, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you for being here this morning. I know it's an early start for everybody, so let's get right to it. On behalf of the Canadian Football League, our Board of Governors, and Commissioner Cohan, I'm pleased to announce that Canada's single largest sporting event and a great source of national pride and our great national celebration, the Grey Cup, will be coming to Vancouver in 2014.
Just raising the bar.
I love
This is a city that loves to party, and especially when we get all these great visitors from across Canada.
Standing in this stadium, we know, looking back to 2011, that it will be packed to the rafters again in 2014, as it was only a couple of years ago when the game sold out in July. We also know that it's going to create a tremendous economic impact on the city of Vancouver. It was measured at over $118 million, with over 130,000 people pouring into the city to join in the celebration. And we know, with certainty, that the people of Vancouver and of British Columbia will again be wonderful hosts, welcoming Canadians to join in our great Canadian game and putting on a Grey Cup game and festival experience that's second to none. Now Travis and the guys, I can't guarantee that you'll be in the game again, and I can't guarantee that you'll raise the Grey Cup again on home soil, but I know that Dennis, Wally, Coach Benavides will do your best to try to make that happen. What I can pledge is that we will work with you to make the 2014 Grey Cup game and festival one of the biggest and best ever. So, thank you, and I'd like to invite Dennis Skulski and Senator Braley to say a few words.
The Grey Cup, Canada's national championship. My name's on there 4 times already. Once with those hated arguments. We're very pleased and proud and thank the CFL for awarding us the Grey Cup. I think it's particularly important here that 2014, I think our quarterback wears number 14. There's going to be a lot of pressure on the poor guy to win and to make sure he brings another Grey Cup to us in 2014. He's got to win this year first, right? Several years ago, I promised this province that we would try and raise the bar from $80 million of economic value to the province to $100 million. Well, in 2011, it went to $118 million. So this year, we're going to try and raise the bar again and sell the convention center and sell our stadium all across the country. We're going to try and raise that bar to between $125 and $150 million someplace. So if you want to hear you've done a tremendous job hosting, and I thank you all out there. I'm humbled, and I'm really proud to be the owner of BC Lions. So let's get the cup underway and let's start selling tickets. Thank you.
Senator Braley, boss, ladies and gentlemen, welcome this morning, and it is so nice to be here on this occasion again to announce the Grey Cup coming to Vancouver in 2014. This is the third time, this will be our third time with the honor and the privilege, Mike, of the league giving us that honor and privilege to host the Grey Cup in this great city and in this great province. So we think we've got a pretty good formula here. We're obviously working because of the value of the investment in this stadium that we get to call home. The best stadium in Canada and arguably one of the best in North America. This is the People's Stadium, and it's the BC Lions home and one we're very proud to call our home stadium. That convention center is a natural mix for us because it allows us to put on a festival like no other festival that can be put on in Canada. And I want to thank certainly all of those people who were involved in the decisions over the years, the government and all of those involved in building this wonderful stadium and that convention center, because that's given us the foundation to go out on a very regular basis now and bid and try to bring the Grey Cup here and the Grey Cup game to this great city and this great province. So I think we should give a round of applause to all of those workers and people involved in building these wonderful facilities for us and the people that were involved in making the decisions that had it go forward. Let's give them when I stand up here because I get to say that I'm part of the BC Lions. And as an organization, we're very fortunate to be called BC Lions and represent the namesake of this great province of ours. And we clearly have wonderful players and staff that help us spread ourselves out through the community. And part of that is built off the foundations of the fans. And I know that I was involved for the first time in the Vancouver Grey Cup in 2005. When people talk about that set the bar. And whatever bar it set, all I knew is this community was ready to party, to have some fun, and to invite Canadians from across the country, from coast to coast, to this great community in November and have some fun. And football fans are like no other fans, honestly. If you haven't been to a Grey Cup, you're going to experience it this time. It's like a love-in. CFL fans are like a loving when you get to the Grey Cup, until it's game day, until it's game time. And then the fierce battle of putting on whatever colors you represent. So to our players of the past, thank you for the foundation and building what you did for us. To our players of the future, we are so proud that they represent us in this community. Now let me just talk about the community. What it takes is volunteers, corporate support, and outstanding fans. And we have a winning formula of that here in Vancouver and here in BC. And we've had tremendous support, and it starts with, in this case, the opportunity that came forward to go get this Grey Cup game. This opportunity, 2 years, 3 years after we've had it, to go out and make a bid to go get it. And we made a call, and the call went to the government to say, from a tourism point of view, from an economic development point of view, from creating jobs, from showing our great city, our great province off to the rest of Canada, would you come and be our partners as we go embark on this journey to get the chance to host, the honor of hosting this cup. And to our Premier, Christy Clark, the Minister Coleman, and their colleagues, and all the government, I say thank you on behalf of our fans. And as a British Columbian, you make us proud that you gave us another opportunity to bring that game to this great city and to this great province. So thank you for your support. There are numerous people who have been involved over the years, and Maury Keith chaired last year, and he had a great committee, and I look out here, and we've got Michael Graydon, and we got Jamie, and there's a number of people who have been involved as volunteers in helping us bring this game together and this festival and put on a great festival. And get ready for the phone calls, because now the work begins. We're not that far away from having a lot of people come into town. I know the football club will be ready. Now the rest of the people in our infrastructure, volunteers, and the corporate support get ready. To BC Lions fans out there, thank you for your support. You continue to make us one of the flagship franchises in this league. Absolutely one of the flagship franchises, thanks to the outstanding support. So this cup is about bringing it back home here to play, and you get to be in the stands as we strive to be there representing you. So I would now like to call upon the Premier to offer her words, but to officially say thank you, Premier, to you and your colleagues for your great support and the leadership of helping us go win this for Vancouver and this province, to have the privilege and the honor to host this game and this festival.
Thank you very much. I am delighted. I'm absolutely delighted. And Travis and team, I know the Commissioner can't guarantee that we'll win it, but I believe we will. And when we win it, let's just promise we're not going to break it. What do you think? Senator Braley, I'm delighted to be here with you and all the great football players from BC. Thanks. I hope that some of you are going to have a great future in the CFL. And Al Wilson, Jim Young, I grew up in a family of BC Lions fans. My grandfather was a season ticket holder. My father was a season ticket holder. I remember the days at Empire when we would go and we would get free tickets to Playland afterwards. And this team has been a part of British Columbia and British Columbia families for generations. I'm just one example of that. And of course the original Lou, a fellow Burnabyite, who was a great representative for my city, for my province, and made us all so proud. Thank you to my colleagues who are here today as well. British Columbia this month created 40% of the new jobs in the country. And one of the ways that we did that is because we've stayed focused on job creation. This is a great sporting event. It is a great source of pride for all Canadians. It's a tremendous opportunity for Canadians to come together and celebrate what makes this country tick. but it's also a great economic opportunity for us. And so when we made that a little over $2 million investment in bringing the Grey Cup to British Columbia, when we made that decision as a province, we did it because it would create jobs for people here. We did it because we know that the over $100 million in benefits that will come to British Columbia are going to put a lot of people to work. And I'd say that that's a great investment for our province. It's a great investment economically, but much more importantly, or just as importantly, it's a great investment in pride, in our pride. And so I'm delighted here we are at this incredible stadium, one that some said should never have been rebuilt. Well, if there is proof that it was the right decision, it's this announcement today. Because it's this stadium that's allowed us to be able to win the Grey Cup. It's been this great team, this fantastic organization, this proud legion of fans, and our bright history. We're going to keep making history, folks. We're going to win this Grey Cup. We're not just going to win it, win the right to host it. Our players are going to win the right to hoist that cup again out here on this field and give British Columbians something to cheer about. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Premier. I also want to acknowledge that the journey just begins now. 2014 is not that far away. And we're going to be calling on our partners at the City of Vancouver, who have, for the past 2 Grey Cups, been a very active and important partner of ours as we move forward to hosting and welcoming Canadians from coast to coast to this great city. So we look forward to being here with the city, and as we embark on bringing on those corporate and business partners to help us put on the best festival possible, we'll look forward to that. Those future announcements coming soon. I also want to acknowledge today that as part of this partnership and this bid, we had tremendous support from Tourism Vancouver. Rick Antonson is here. Rick, thank you to the board and to everybody involved from Tourism Vancouver. And also I'd like to call on now Russ Cowan, who is the president of the Vancouver Hotel Destination Association. And Russ was also a very active, the Hotel Association, a very active partner in helping us go secure the rights to host this. Russ?
Thank you very much, and I'll keep my remarks very brief, but on behalf of our 35 hotels that represent the Vancouver Hotel Destination Association, we were thrilled when we were approached with the opportunity to be a supporter, to hear the province was behind this event that came to us in 2011. Not only is this an event that comes to the city and brings Canadians from all across our country, but for us in the hotel industry and the tourism industry, it comes at a really great time, and that's in November. And last time this event was here and I had the pleasure of attending and seeing all the people from across the country, I just want to let everyone know, and the Lions and all of the partners that were involved, just what impact this makes throughout Greater Vancouver, not only to the hotels, but to all of the businesses that support this great event. It is truly a great Canadian institution, and I concur, this is truly the greatest stadium in Canada, so we are very pleased to be supporting. Thank you very much.
If I could have you come up, we're going to do a quick photo op now before we break for one-on-ones, ladies and gentlemen. Russ, if you want to come up here, and then we're going to do another one with all of our Rich Coleman, our MLAs, if you could please come up. We're going to do this photo op, ladies and gentlemen, then we're going to have another one before we break for one-on-ones. Notice we've got some purple jerseys that are present at our press conference today. I want to acknowledge and welcome the grade 7 football team from Vancouver College who came out today as part of this announcement today. So guys, thank you for being here. Okay, now we've got one more photo up. We're going to have if we could have our alumni, our MLAs, our current players, and our grade 7 team from Van College. They can't wait to get up there. We're going to have one more photo made, and then we're going to break for one-on-ones, ladies and gentlemen.